What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got Daniel Jones got even worse, and that is a fact, bro. You know what I'm saying? That is a fact. This nigga, like, I still don't understand why he got paid $40 million a year. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Like, this nigga is absolutely the worst quarterback in the league by far. By far, bro. It's about time to send this nigga to the shadow realm. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Let's go and check this shit out, though.
I was just doing my job.
I feel so bad for Malik Neighbors.
I actually did talk to Daniel Jones. He was just like,
he fucked up his name. Daniel Jones, nigga.
It's been a very, very difficult year.
I feel so bad for Giants fans.
It was just week one, but the thing is it's continuing.
As long as they have Daniel Jones, bro, they will continue to suck.
And if things continue,
just keep it a buck with y'all.
A brand new front office by this time next year, and a brand new head coach. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we got all that out of the way,
break. Okay, W intro.
My Friday night.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Enough with it. Enough with this bullshit of the damn prize picks.
For the sponsor.
Get straight into the video.
1212. What's going on, everybody? I feel very mixed feelings about the New York Giants general manager Joe Schoen, and it's because their previous general manager was significantly worse and was doing way dumber stuff than what Schoen's currently doing. But at the same time, there are moments where Schoen makes moves that on paper sound like a good idea, and then they just don't pan out for him. For example, he traded a third-round pick for Darren Waller on.
That's crazy, and this nigga retired.
Good trade. In reality, it didn't really do much for the New York Giants. Darren Waller was decent when.
Wait, what did Joe Schoen say? No regrets over Darren Waller trade. Would do it again? Nah, that's crazy. This is exactly why the Giants are not going to be Super Bowl contenders anytime soon.
The problem was he was rarely on the field, and then he retired after this past year. And it seems like the Giants are consistently making moves like this. I mean, I applauded them for trading a late round pick for Isaiah Simmons last summer. I applauded them for fleecing the Carolina Panthers.
Nah, that shit was crazy.
Burns. And even the 2022 NFL draft, at least at the time,
Kayvon
the
Thibodeau.
they were making seemed to be intelligent moves. I mean, I know hindsight's 2020, but everyone thought that Kayvon Thibodeau had the athleticism to potentially be the next big thing at the edge rusher position. The New York Giants were supposed to have a very underrated pass rush this year with Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau. And I know we meme the selection of Evan Neal consistently, but at the time when the Giants did select Evan Neal, a lot of people thought that he was going to go within the top three. And it doesn't really help that the New York Giants 2022 first-round picks are starting to look like busts, especially Evan Neal. And their 2023
maybe it's just because they're on the Giants.
And that's what I mean when I say
I would be, bro. I will be a bust too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
that are going to change the New York Giants. It looks
these niggas are playing with no morale right now.
And especially considering what they were doing with their draft picks before the Schoen era, I'd have to say I'm very much on board with some of these decisions, but they never end up panning out. And the icing on the cake was the fact that this team was featured on HBO's Hard Knocks in season this past year, which, by the way, I think is the cruelest version of Hard Knocks that I think I've ever seen. 70% of the show is literally Joe Schoen and John Mara discussing what they should do about Saquon Barkley.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, what's up?
You doing all right? The right thing to do is let you test the market and see what your value is. If you really want to be a Giant for life, does that sound good?
Yeah, I mean, I already told you where I want to be, so.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, Saquon, I'll talk to you.
And I know if you happen to be a fan,
like, this nigga Saquon did not want to be a Giant at all. Like, bro, you can hear it in his voice.
Hey, Saquon Barkley, damn it! But the reality is, the Saquon Barkley
what the fuck?
is way more complicated than should we pay Saquon Barkley a bunch of money or no? Because at the end of the day,
but I'm telling you right now, if they did pay Saquon Barkley, he wouldn't have been as dominant as he is on the Eagles right now. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Behind that mediocre, you know what I'm saying, offensive line, bro. The offensive line is absolute dog shit, bro. This nigga would not be as dominant as he is, well, as he was in week one, bro. Like come on. Like, come on, bro. Even if they did resign him,
off of the Giants, wouldn't really
this nigga's finally behind a good offensive line, and you can see how dangerous he is.
Their most popular player, was their most popular player ever since Odell Beckham Jr. left. And throughout Saquon's career, he's demonstrated that he can be an absolute weapon if he's not the only weapon on the offense. And this really goes for any halfback ever in NFL history, whether it's with Christian McCaffrey during his latter years with the Panthers or Saquon Barkley when he's with the New York Giants. I mean, for example, during the 2018 season, his rookie year, the Giants still had Odell Beckham Jr. Saquon had 11 touchdowns and over 1,300 yards rushing with the Giants. One rookie of the year, was a Pro Bowler, over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. The very next year, he still had over 1,000 yards rushing despite being injured, although not as many touchdowns. Then in 2020, he would be injured for the majority of the season, and in 2020,
that's stiff
played
long.
13 games but wasn't as effective because the Giants really had no one else on their team except for Saquon Barkley. And he was being coached by Joe Judge.
That's exact. Like that's the main reason why Saquon kept getting injured, bro. Because they kept running this nigga into the fucking dirt, bro. Because they had no talent outside of Saquon Barkley.
To succeed there, he averaged.
That's why he's gonna be able to stay healthy this year. Because they're not gonna run him into the dirt, and plus they have a great offensive line.
No O-line, no weapons outside of him. Really, all you had to do when you faced off against the Giants was stack the box. In 2022, he had a resurgent season. When Brian Dable came in, Daniel Jones actually looked like an above-average quarterback, and Saquon averaged 4.4 yards per carry. But last year, when Daniel Jones was playing like garbage in the beginning of the season, and then there was a revolving door at the quarterback position for the rest of the season, he went back down to a sub 4 yards per carry, but still had 6 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards rushing. What's the point? Well, clearly the Giants have more pressing needs than Saquon Barkley, and paying a halfback the amount that the Eagles paid Saquon is a luxury for a team that is trying to make a push to the Super Bowl. I'll always say this about Saquon. My take hasn't changed for the Philadelphia Eagles. If Saquon is healthy throughout the season, then obviously it's going to be worth the money, but that's a pretty big if. But I do like Saquon's chances, considering the fact that the Eagles have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, and they have so many options on offense. I mean, you have a dual threat QB in Jalen Hurts, you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley. Now, you might be wondering why I'm bringing this up, and it's
Dallas Goedert,
really hard to
and they need to get Jahan Dotson the ball some more.
Because I still think he can play, and I think he can help us. I didn't want to come in at a number because I really don't have a great idea where the market is. If you want to come back and be a Giant, let's try to make sense.
And then realize that Saquon Barkley had 3 touchdowns in his debut for the Philadelphia Eagles. It definitely doesn't paint Joe Schoen in the best light, but to be honest, I don't blame him for this decision. There's no point in overpaying Saquon Barkley to return to the New York Giants if you're going to be garbage anyway. And to be honest, I think Saquon,
It's about time for them to tank, bro. Shador, Sanders, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe. I hope they don't draft Jalen Milroe because that's gonna ruin Milroe's career. I ain't gonna hold you.
The moment he signed with the Eagles,
You know what I'm saying? I'm an Alabama fan, so
Saquon would get this big of a deal.
Franchising and trading him, I don't think is realistic.
Are we positive that nobody's gonna pay him that kind of money? Never no free agent.
But I think the reason
bro, if someone would have said hell no, bro, I would have been weak, nigga. Yo, nah, they would have been looking stupid.
Obsessed with Daniel Jones. It's kind of weird. Like, look at this clip from Hard Knocks.
You could have Pat Mahomes, he can't fucking win it behind that. I'm not giving up on like.
Now look, guys.
Hey, what'd he say?
He can't.
Obsessed with Daniel Jones.
What about Pat
Like,
Mahomes?
look at this clip from Hard Knocks.
You could have Pat Mahomes, he can't fucking win it behind that. I'm not giving up on like.
Now look, guys.
I didn't understand a damn thing he said.
Take on the Daniel
I ain't gonna hold you.
contract, and it's mainly the fact that I believe the Giants have so many holes on their team that it doesn't really matter that you decided to donate $160 million to Daniel Jones over 4 seasons while you try to address the other parts of your team. I mean, Daniel Jones looks like a more than capable tank commander, don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of weird, this obsession with Daniel Jones. This is year 6 of the Daniel Jones experience.
Damn,
And
year
I do
6
agree
is
with Sean, by the
crazy.
way. I don't think any
Bro, and it's crazy. They've had numerous opportunities to get rid of this nigga and draft this replacement. You know what I'm saying? Especially in last year's draft, bro. They could have drafted Michael Penix. They could have drafted Bo Nix. Could they have drafted JJ McCarthy? Because I think the Giants were in front of the Vikings. Bro, like they could have definitely drafted his replacement, bro. But for some reason, bro, for some odd reason, they still have faith in this nigga. When is it gonna get through their thick ass skulls that this nigga is never gonna be good in the NFL? Maybe in the CFL, you know what I'm saying? Goddamn, XFL maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this nigga's never gonna be good in the National Football League. Let's keep it a buck, bro. Like, his time is over.
In the circumstances that
He was never good to begin with. That fluke ass 2022 season he had, he didn't even play all that good. He threw for over 3,000 yards.
Patriots, so they could trade up to the number 3 pick and select Drake May, because I don't think Drake May would succeed in these circumstances either, which is why I'm really happy that the Giants
Shit, even the Patriots have a better situation than the Giants. At least they got a little bit of weapons, you know what I'm saying?
Happy to be a New York Giant. I mean, when he was drafted,
Well, let me see. Malik Neighbors is accused of being miserable as he turns up for day one with him. Hey, bro, I'm not surprised, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel so bad for Malik Neighbors that his talent is going to get wasted with a horrible team.
Isn't really happy to be a New York Giant. I mean, when he was drafted,
Damn.
take a look at what Malik Neighbors had to say about Daniel
Botch
Jones.
it.
No, he literally didn't even get his name right. Watch.
Bro, I remember when I first saw that clip.
I actually did talk to Daniel Jones. He was just like, I'm happy that you're here. We're gonna
Daniel
Jones,
Jones.
and then learn. He's gonna learn about me. I'm gonna learn about him, and we're gonna get together.
Well, that's not the crazy part.
This shit is so
When they
fucking
asked
weird.
him, what
Oh
do you
my
think
god.
of Daniel Jones as a quarterback?
Very early, but what do you make of him as a quarterback?
I'll wait till I get here to see, all that. I'm just happy to be here. Great organization, here, so I'm just happy to be here.
He even knows that Daniel Jones had a fucking good quarterback,
And he was
bro.
like,
Let me wait until I get here. I'm not going to judge before I get there. I'm just thankful to be here. It's just
it's insane to hear that. And I'm not saying he should endorse Daniel Jones from the jump, because this is clearly an individual that's a little sad about where he went. New York is a great market to play in, beautiful city. I personally love the lifestyle of New Yorkers as well. But when you consider what could have been for Malik Neighbors, you can understand why he's a little frustrated. I mean, look at what happens when Caleb Williams brings up
Oh yeah, I remember this. He ended it live.
before he got drafted. Of course you're gonna be upset when you could have been getting bombed.
Bro, for real, bro. I dead ass thought he was gonna get drafted to the Chargers, bro. Like, I kept saying that shit to myself. Like, this nigga is gonna be the next weapon for Justin Herbert. But nope, they drafted Joe Alt because of Jim Harbaugh. You feel me? In this run-focused offense.
Jim Harbaugh's offense.
Like,
Obviously,
damn.
it's going to suck. And obviously, I'd rather be playing in Los Angeles, getting past
Facts.
Justin Herbert, than going to New York and probably being the only weapon on your offense, respectfully. And this was really blown up in the Minnesota Vikings game versus the New York Giants. Obviously, going into this game,
Did Malik even get involved in this game?
Daniel Jones would magically be good again. I don't really
They think just because this nigga got a new beard, he would have been top 5 QB, huh?
Complete garbage even before his season-ending injury last year. I mean, if you take a look at his statistics, the Giants were 1-5 last year with Daniel Jones under center. He threw 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And I don't know why people just happen to forget this. Do you remember during one of his final games where Devin Witherspoon and took it back 90,
And then he juked his ass too.
and then
Skirt.
this in a post-game interview?
Sacked Daniel Jones 11 times. What were you hearing and seeing out there?
We knew he liked to stare down his first target, so he had his back turned. A lot of guys just win their one-on-one matchups up front.
And then, of course, when Sauce Gardner was asked what he thought about him, this is what he said.
He's a good quarterback. You feel me?
He didn't even feel comfortable saying that, bro. Like, you can see how this nigga was stuttering.
Of course, when Sauce Gardner
Yo,
thought about him,
this shit is hilarious.
He's a good quarterback. You feel me? I thought I was about to pick him off today. I had a little cloud rip. He had looked at the last minute to try to throw the check down to Wan'Dale. I thought I had to pick, but he kept it. I mean,
Yo,
it was
this
serious. It was very competitive, man.
crazy, bro.
Fun
Damn.
out there today.
This is so sad. Oh, I feel so bad for Sauce. This is so awkward.
nobody really
Oh my gosh.
even Tom Brady's taking a dig at Daniel Jones.
I think if I was doing it myself, and let's say I throw really bad interception. I would walk to the sidelines and I said, you are the worst quarterback in the world. How can you possibly make that throw? That was terrible.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, Daniel Jones is over with, bro. If you got Tom Brady talking like this to you, bro, yeah, you're not a good quarterback at all, nigga. Yo.
Because in some ways, I don't necessarily know exactly what the problem was on that play. Let's say Daniel Jones throws an interception. I didn't mean to say it like that.
And then you got the ultimate troll up here, bro, and Stephen A. Smith.
Maybe I was a little bit.
So going into his very first game of the season, a team that he must feel fairly comfortable against, considering the fact that the pinnacle of his career came against the Minnesota Vikings when Daniel Jones outdueled Kirk Cousins in the playoffs in order to get the Giants in
Kirk Cousins is never really good in playoffs anyway.
Crazy, but this actually happened once upon a time. But this time you don't have to go up against Kirk Cousins. You're going up against Sam Darnold. Should be way easier, correct? No, it wasn't way easier. As a matter of fact,
Sam Darnold was dotting him up.
I've never seen a meltdown of this magnitude, and it was from all accounts. Daniel Jones threw for 186 passing yards and 2 interceptions,
picks.
one of which being a pick six by Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yeah, that was horrible, and the one to Harrison Smith was atrocious.
Nowhere to be found. One of the most promising pass rushing duos of the offseason completely disappeared. No.
Yeah, hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This nigga Kayvon Thibodeau was getting clamped up, bro. He was getting clamped.
Jalen Hyatt was nowhere to be found.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This nigga Kayvon Thibodeau's not that good, even though he had double-digit sacks last year. Like, bro, this nigga was not really that good.
I don't want to make it seem like Brian Daboll.
How many of those sacks were freebies, bro?
Clearly looked like they weren't prepared either. They had 9 penalties called on them for 95 yards, which might be more of an indictment on coaching than anything else. And then you finally have the draft pick that you hit on, Malik Neighbors, saying this about Daniel Jones.
I don't know really what was going on back there, but you know, I'm getting out my routes and you know, I'm just trying to make a play, trying to find him, trying to make, you know, a better throw for him to make. So I mean, I was just doing my job. I mean, that's all I can do.
And then it seemed like after a while he decided to blame the offensive line.
I mean, just look over the film, see what ways we can give me the ball in space. You know, Daniel said he was trying to give me the ball. He saw a lot of pressure in his face, so I mean, I can't control that. So, you know, they tried to give me the ball, just stuff wasn't working right. So we just got to fix that up.
Now, you might be thinking at this point that the New York Giants would consider benching Daniel Jones, maybe look at Ryan Tannehill, because
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's best for the Giants to keep Daniel Jones in because of the fact that it's time for these niggas to tank for a new quarterback, bro. This year's quarterback class is going to be stacked, you know what I'm saying, with Shador, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe, Drew Aller, you know what I'm saying, and some more. Like, I think Cam Ward's going to be in this year's draft as well. So it would be best for them to tank this year, you know what I'm saying, to try and replace Daniel Jones because it's time for this nigga to go. It is time for this nigga to go. Now, they probably not going to be able to trade him, you know what I'm saying, because probably nobody wants this dude unless it's going to be for a backup position. Even then, that shit probably not gonna be worth much. But they gotta get rid of this nigga ASAP.
Fine for crying out loud, but no. According to Brian Daboll, the Giants are gonna go into week 2 with Daniel Jones as their starting QB versus the Washington Commanders.
Daniel Jones is gonna keep on as the Giants' starting quarterback in week 2, which we're already saying that Daniel Jones is starting quarterback. Like, we have to say this now? Like, that right there is a telltale sign that this isn't going away anytime soon. Like,
So this is about to get way, way worse. The craziest part is Daboll didn't even consider benching Daniel Jones yesterday.
Did you ever consider taking
That's how you know he's tanking right now.
I just feel bad for Brian Daboll because I think he's a very capable coach, but at the same time, I think at this point, Daniel Jones might get him fired. And you just tell that he's had it. I mean, last year you had this one clip.
Bro, that shit was hilarious.
Just tell that he's had it. I mean, last year you had this one clip of him throwing the tablet and then also yelling at him, literally saying, "Do you want them to fire me?"
Wait, for real? He said that?
And also yelling at him, literally saying, "Do you want them to fire me?" My personal philosophy is I think Daniel Jones is even less motivated to be great now that he got a huge contract, because I've never seen a player fall off this poorly. He showed so
I mean, he was never on to begin with, bro. Let's keep it a buck.
Remember, This man was making plays happen despite not having any true number one wide receiver. And the number one take was, if he's this good without any help, imagine once we get him help. And it seems like either the help isn't helping, or the general manager isn't making the right call or the right decisions, or Brian Daboll is starting to give up on Daniel Jones as well, and he's not coaching him as well, or Daniel Jones just doesn't seem motivated at all whatsoever. All of those seem like relatively weird takes in my opinion. It could be the combination of everything. At the end of the day, I think this might be the last year of the Daniel Jones era. I don't expect him to magically get better when he's been garbage for this long. Since signing his contract extension, the man has thrown 3 pick sixes and only 2 TDs, and it's kind of crazy, but this
what?
True.
No, that's crazy.
Has consistently gotten his coaches fired, and for some reason the GM still believes in him like he could be a really good QB in the NFL. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're a Giants fan. What do you think needs to happen? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Hey man, I want to know what you guys think about this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because Daniel Jones is clearly not the answer. But if they want to get better, bro, you know what I'm saying? I would say they tank this year. You feel me? And get a top 5 or top 3 pick in the draft, and then draft this replacement. Like that's how I see it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I can definitely see him getting benched like halfway through the season. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know what other NFL videos y'all want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Gang!